The AI gospel. Hey, we got a poll in the chat. Is artificial intelligence dangerous? Can AI preach this gospel? We about to find out today on the Quality Life. Quality people, this is the Quality Life. Make sure you, because we don't want to be quality by ourselves. We're about to get into, I asked artificial intelligence about Jesus, and I got some shocking results. So we're going to go through that. We're even going to ask artificial intelligence live if it can create a creative story about Jesus. But first, before we even get into that, I got a question.
What's up?
This is the question. Do you feel AI is dangerous? Do you feel AI is dangerous, Kenya?
I think it can be. But overall, I think no, but it can be, depending on who's using it, whose intentions are behind the AI, like ChatGPT kind of thing.
So there's got to be an ethical framework around our use of AI. I mean that's kind of similar to everything else. There's got to be an ethical framework because anything can be abused.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like, I think going back to the whole crystal conversation, it's a pretty rock, but depending on whatever your intentions are behind it, it can either be used for good or for bad.
No, I definitely agree. And I got a Bible verse right here. And our Bible verse is Psalms 115:3. It says, "Our God is in heaven. He does what he pleases." And that's kind of hinting at the sovereignty of God. And at the end of the day, AI is a kind of just a tool that God has allowed man to create. And like you said, the tools that he allows us to create can either be used for good or be used for evil, depending on the person's intentions. And so, but at the end of the day, I think God is, sovereign over all of it. So let's get into this AI reaction. I asked artificial intelligence on Notion. They have a cool AI feature now. Basically, I said, what is the impact, write something about the impact of Jesus. And this is what it came up with. Can you fix my camera? All right. So it says impact of Jesus. It says, Jesus Christ is one of the most influential figures in history. Amen. His teachings and life stories have impacted countless individuals and societies throughout the world. This essay will explore 3 major areas in which Jesus' impact has been felt: religion, culture, and morality. So that's what I did. I said, write an essay about the impact of Jesus. And so this is exactly what Notion came up with. And so they split it up into 3 different categories. And then they gave me a conclusion. So we're about to go through these categories. We're going to see if it nailed it. We're going to see what we think maybe needs to be added, subtracted, this, that, and the third. So getting into religion. Jesus is the central figure of Christianity. That's a fact. So that's not a sickness. They get a level up for that. Jesus is a central figure in Christianity, the world's largest religion with over 2 billion followers. Man, there's over 2 billion people professing Christ. His teachings, as recorded in the Bible, have formed the foundation of Christian theology and practices. Jesus' message of love, forgiveness, and salvation has resonated with people for over 2,000 years, inspiring individuals to seek a closer relationship with God and to love and serve others. Do you think that was pretty solid? I thought
that was pretty solid.
What is the but?
I don't know. I think it's missing a key point in at least in the religion aspect of things.
Okay, expound.
I don't know. I just think it's missing the resurrection. I don't know if it's getting to that point, but I feel like it's missing that part.
So I think when it says religion, I think it's just more saying the framework for Christianity. So I think it nailed it. But I do think maybe it should have added the religion is solely based off of the resurrection.
Yeah.
Because the resurrection is true, that's why we believe that Jesus is God and he is the Messiah, and that's why we follow his teachings.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
No, I definitely agree with that. So let's get into culture. Jesus' impact on culture is vast and far-reaching. His life and teachings have been depicted in art, literature, music, and film throughout the centuries. The influence of Christianity on the Western culture is evident in the art and architecture of Europe, which is true. Like if you go to Europe, you'll see a bunch of just paintings, especially in the churches. Their churches are beautiful. And not like the churches in the US where it's just like a modern building
Bunch of lights.
with a bunch of stage and a bunch of lights. It's very beautiful
Artistic. Yeah.
artistic architecture. It says the literature of Shakespeare and Milton and the music of Bach and Handel, Christmas and Easter, two of the most widely celebrated holidays in the world, are based on the life and teachings of Jesus. And so that's what it says about how Jesus has shaped culture. What do you two think about that?
I would agree. I have no counter arguments with that.
Yeah, I like that. 'Cause I would, I think it almost doesn't even do it justice because Jesus is embedded into Western cultures, or Christianity is embedded into Christian culture so deeply that even if we were to remove it, it would still, like, we can't remove. There's no way. There's no way we could remove it from society. That's how embedded it is. It's embedded in our Constitution. It's embedded in a lot of our laws, and then not to mention just people's lifestyle. Even if you don't profess Christ, a lot of the moral teachings and virtues that people accept as, like this is right and wrong, directly come from either the teachings of Jesus or the teachings of the Bible. So, speaking of right and wrong, let's get into the morality section. Jesus' teachings on morality have had a profound impact on the Western society. His message of compassion, justice, and nonviolence has inspired countless individuals and movements to work for social justice and to fight against oppression and injustice. Oh, that's a bag right there. Amen to that. The idea of the golden rule, I don't like how it's well, I guess it's not technically called the golden rule. It's just that's what it's been coined. So that's okay. To treat others as you would like to be treated has become a cornerstone of ethical and moral teachings in many cultures around the world. Amen. Yeah. Amen. You should always treat people how you would want to be treated. I think ultimately because you get treated how you treat people. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to the conclusion. In conclusion, the impact of Jesus on the world is immeasurable. His teachings and life story have shaped the course of history, influencing religion, culture, and morality in profound ways, whether one is a Christian or not. It is impossible to deny the lasting impacts of Jesus that Jesus has had on the world. I mean, that I think it kind of nailed it.
AI gets it.
Yeah, AI gets it. Why can't you? No, but seriously, I think I just told it to write an essay, and it gave me 3 key, like very important, cornerstones as far as or bullet points to expound on. And so like if you're a kid and you're in school and they were like, hey, write a story about this, you just type it into, hey, outline me an essay, and then bam. But I think it's so interesting how the interesting thing is you never know. They say AI is supposed to be non-biased, right? It's just spitting out, facts based on how it was built, essentially. But how things are built can be built with certain biases. So I want to see
what would happen.
And I think it conveys the message of the gospel well. And so one more thing that I want to do before we get out of here is I want to hear live. I want to say, let's see. Let's just click continue writing and let's see what it comes up with. All right, so I told it to continue writing, so it gave me basically another paragraph. And let's see if it can stay consistent or... Oh, it's already given me an apology message. It says right here, thank you for your feedback. I apologize for the repeated paragraph. Here is a revised version of the conclusion. All right. So we're about to get, okay, so up here it says, It is also worth noting that Jesus' impact was not limited to the Western world. Christianity has spread to every corner of the globe, and Jesus' teachings have been translated into countless languages. His message of love and salvation continue to resonate with people of all backgrounds and cultures, inspiring them to live lives of compassion and service to others. And so then now in our second conclusion, it says, in conclusion, the impact of Jesus on the world is immeasurable. Wow. I know that's kind of big because we always think about God as, being infinite, being omniscient, and how we can't really measure up to God, how we can't comprehend God. And even
There it
AI is
is right
like,
there.
hey, it's immeasurable. His teachings and life stories have shaped the course of history, influencing religion, culture, and morality in profound ways. Whether one is a Christian or not is impossible. Okay, so that's the repeated part. But in conclusion, man, I mean, AI kind of gets it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one more Bible verse before we get out of here. And it's just showing you again the sovereignty of God. Lord, they have killed your prophets. They have demolished your altars. I alone am left, and they are seeking my life.
Amen.
Seek God. You have any closing thoughts?
Nope.
All right. Quality people. This is Quality Life. Make sure you share this with your friend. If you're live, we'll be right back with the Hangout. But if you're not, check out this video below because YouTube is recommending it for you personally.
Like for the algorithm.
A lot of people tend to try to base their friends off of it. Like, oh, well, I'm a Pisces. So that means if you're not a Cancer, then we can't be friends.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you're not basing your friends off the content of their character and you're basing them off of these signs, what are you doing? You can argue with theology all day, but there's, certain things that make you a Christian, and there's certain fruit that you produce when you are a Christian, and that's how we are able to, tell you apart from the world. And at the end of the day, Jesus is going to separate the wheat from the chaff. All right, it's the Quality Hangout. It's time to see. Let me see if my camera will focus. There it is. It's time to read your comments and answer your questions. So if you got any questions for us, fill it up in the chat. Looks like we have a very, very thin chat today, but make sure that because we don't want to be quality by ourselves, but Luxurious Elements says,
Hello.
Get those home runs. I did hit it inside the Parker yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Just hit it.
Inside the Parker?
Yeah, that means the home run didn't
Oh.
it didn't go over the fence. It just, and then you just keep running. She's still learning
I
the whole
am. I
baseball,
really
softball
am.
thing. But yeah. But yeah, so what did y'all think about the whole what did you think about the whole artificial intelligence thing, Kenya?
Oh, I just think it's so interesting because, I don't know, it's like everyone saw it coming
Mm-hmm.
and now it's here. And now people are trying to figure out, like, does it have to get regulated? How does it need to go about? Like, even my school, I'm getting my master's, and I got a notification the other day that said, do not use AI or Chat GPT
Yeah,
for your
they're rolling that out.
essays or
I've heard that.
anything.
Yeah.
So it's just very interesting, and I'm glad we did this segment today.
That's awesome. Hey, we got somebody else in the chat. Lisa Bell says hello.
Hi, Miss Lisa.
Hi, Miss Lisa. Do you know who Miss Lisa is?
Yeah, you know who Miss Lisa is.
Who's Miss Lisa?
Miss Lisa and Chuck. My parents' friends.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Well, that's all you had to say. It's like, sometimes I don't remember names. I remember faces, There it is. Shout out to Lisa. Thank you for joining the stream. We do have a user video that came up that we're going to react to in our Hangout section. So if you have a video, I know Miss Tarvis sends me videos all the time, but if you got a video, that you think is funny and you just want to send it our way, we may react to it. So this one was from Aunt Cindy, who I think she's not in the chat. She's probably taking a nap or something. But just check this out, because they tried to get his baby waves.
Oh no.
They did give this baby waves, actually. Just check this out. It's pretty funny.
People.
He's got the do-rag on.
People. My people. Anybody want to tell me just what the hell? What in the hell is going on? Why are y'all doing this? Hold up.
What do you think, Kenya?
They really gave that baby waves.
I mean, they did.
It looks good though.
It does look good, but you could tell, like, he hasn't even had his first haircut. He still got the baby hair. Hey, but if you want to, like, some people give their babies Jordans, some people give their kids waves. Matter of preference. Here we go.
People can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. Can't even have the baby. Listen, there's nothing wrong with you making sure that your child has waves. But can you wait until the baby's head isn't soft anymore before you get to putting it? Wait till the baby head solidify. Wait till they just can you wait just a little?
You said wait till that baby head solidified.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I'm not sure at what like age is the baby's head like.
I think it's like a year. Because I know that's between like when the baby's born, I don't know how many months, and like a year, that's when they do like the helmet thing for babies' heads. So I think it's like a year.
So do you think, I need you to turn in your motherly instincts, do you think this baby is over a year? Because I'm not sure.
No.
It looks like it's maybe.
I don't think so.
It looks like it's around a year.
It looks like fresh baby hair.
Oh, that looks fresh? Ooh.
This is a sickness.
All right, let's continue.
While longer.
What do y'all think in the chat?
So the baby's head can be hard enough that when you tying a do-rag around the baby doggone head.
Oh, that's right. I agree with that. I didn't think
y'all, come on now. People can't have nothing. You can't have nothing.
I hope the baby's head doesn't.
I am trying to get myself together.
I hope the baby's head doesn't like mold incorrectly because of the do-rag and everything.
But also, like, when you brush to get waves, you have to
you have to press down.
You gotta brush, because like waves come from the compression from one brushing, and then also the compression of the do-rag. So if you wrapping your baby's head like that tight, I mean, I don't know, maybe I think Schuler King has a point here. Here we go.
I am trying to get myself there to express how I feel. Y'all got the do-rag on the baby, and the baby head, the baby neck ain't even strong enough to hold up the doggone weight of the do-rag. The do-rag don't weigh nothing but the baby neck. That's a newborn neck. That's a brand new neck. Fresh out the womb neck.
That's a fresh.
Neck still got afterbirth on it. You done slapped the do-rag on the baby head. And the baby head neck ain't even strong enough to hold up the weight of the do-rag. But you trying to make sure he got the 360s. I ain't mad at
not the 360. Yeah, I mean they because it looks like they brushing all of it. It wasn't just like, oh, let me just try like the top to see what will happen. Man, I mean, I hope this baby turns out to be a wonderful member of society. I really do.
We have a comment.
What is the comment?
We have.
You just covered yourself right up. It says, just my opinion.
I think too young for the waves.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you, Miss Tarva Mac. I think that baby is a little too young to be, I think you just need to let babies just be babies. Just let them run around, let them have this, let them have that. And then you shouldn't be worried about their head. Yeah. Let's see. Lisa Bell says,
I would say baby 4 to 6 months. We shape our baby's head. Might have a funny shaped head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah, level up for that. Let's get back into these.
Did you want your child to have 3? Just wait. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Can you wait till the baby start talking? Can we make sure that the baby's healthy before we make sure he's spinning, please?
Now, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's like, we try to make our babies and kids do like grown stuff sometimes, when in reality it's just like back to what we were just saying earlier, just like let the kid just be. Let the
Yeah.
kid just be. Now, I don't think this is like a sin or
Yeah.
like a mortal sin, or like this parent needs to, like, they need to call child protective service.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of wild, but kind of cool at the same time. So
Yeah, like it worked.
it works, but so that's why we're passing it to you guys. Like, what do y'all really think about this? Leave it in the comments.
Look, these your kids, do what you want to do. Y'all, please, ladies and gentlemen, kids are not objects. These are human beings. Okay? I hate when people, they're my kids, I do what I want to do. That is not a car. Okay? That is not something for you to accessorize. Okay? I don't care how you feel. If I offend you, to hell with you. I'm sorry. That is not, a child is not, it's something that you accessorize, all right? Make sure to be.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
the child isn't something you accessorize. It's something that you should be nurturing and building up. Like I said, I hope this kid becomes a productive member of society, but a part of that is raising them up properly from the time that they're born.
Raise them up in the way they should go.
Right. And so, and another thing is, like, if your goal for your child is to accessorize them, that's kind of what they grow up, and they become so consumed with the material world. It's like, oh, I got to have the waves, I got to have the Jordans, I got to have this, I got to have that. And they don't focus so much on their character, on their soul, on what they can do for others. And so, and I'm not saying that this is going to go on with this person or anything. I'm just kind of making a point at the focus of our culture sometimes is more on, oh, look at this, rather than, hey, we're building a strong society that can live on past us.
And this kind of whole thing kind of makes me think of, or at least what he said about not accessorizing your children. There was this popular thing going around on TikTok where a mom put fake tattoos on her baby, like it was a baby.
Oh, yeah, I
baby.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So Lisa Bell has a comment. She said, "We live vicariously through our children." And yeah, sometimes that's a bad thing, because growing up playing sports, I saw dads try to do this with their kids all the time. They weren't able to make it to higher levels of their sport or whatever. And so now they're pushing their kids super hard. Like, no, you got to do this. You got to practice. They yell at them when they don't do good. And sometimes a kid, maybe sometimes there is a place where you need to get on them a little bit, but yelling at your kid just because you want them to be something that they're not quite yet, that's not how you get them to be great. You get them to be great by teaching them to be disciplined and pushing them to greatness rather than, beating them down. Because I've seen so many athletes growing up, young athletes, quit their sport and say, I don't even like this sport, because their dad was just, or in some cases their mom was just so hard on them, like, no, you got to do this, you got to do that, because you got to make it to college and you got to make it professional, because your dad wasn't able to live out his dream, so you got to do it. No, it gets crazy. And so, yeah, Lisa, you're right on the nose. We live vicariously through our children, and I don't have kids yet. And I mean, there's a certain aspect where you probably can't help it. Like, I mean, they're your offspring.
So you have
but
this idea for them.
Right.
kind of.
But we got ideas for everything, right? Of how we think a person should be, but we need to make sure that it is within an ethical framework,
And
living by biblical virtues, which is what we preach here.
yeah, and also like at least how I'm gonna go into motherhood whenever that comes is ensuring that my kids, or being prayerful that my kids are being who God intended for them to be. So helping me prepare them to be who God intended for them to be, kind of thing. So
I like that. I like that. Let's finish out this video.
Baby's healthy first. Make sure the baby all right. We don't know if the baby got problems. You out here already accessorizing, brushing the baby hair. The baby's skull soft, all up in through here. Huh? The baby gonna have bristle impressions all on the doggone brain. Because you don't want to wait for the doggone skull bones to connect and solidify.
That's crazy.
I don't look, man. The waves look nice, but
They
it's
do.
baby hair. All baby's hair look nice. All baby hair is soft. Look, nothing wrong with the 360s. Nothing wrong. Just wait. Just wait a while. It's all right. It's okay. Just wait. All right. God.
And so that is the end of that. So takeaway here: don't accessorize your kid.
Let your kids be kids.
Let your kids be kids, and develop that character in them from a young age. Let's see. We got a couple more comments. Knowing or learning what your child's strengths are. Yes, that's a big thing. But you also have to understand your strengths and weaknesses and develop that self-awareness so that you're able to assess other people, namely your kids, especially. And that's how people develop that character and grow up to be, good members of society, is because they're self-aware. They know what they're good at. They know what they're not good at, and they're able to conduct themselves accordingly. So, very good comments. Got anything else?
T Mac says, "Oh, you're saying it. I remember how it was when my oldest was a cheerleader and the youngest was in soccer. The things you hear. Let the children be children."
Yes. Let the kids be kids.
That's it.
Okay, guys. We are about to get into our final topic. So if you're live, make sure you stay live in the chat. If you are watching this on the replay, check out this video from YouTube next. We'll be right back. Make sure that you
Like for the algorithm.
You can argue with theology all day, but there's, certain things that make you a Christian, and there's certain fruit that you produce when you are a Christian, and that's how we are able to, tell you apart from the world. And at the end of the day, Jesus is going to separate the wheat from the chaff.
You can give 3 seconds just like smiling at someone saying, "Hi, how's your
Right.
day going?" Or 3 seconds in a way of grace, like if someone makes you upset, like take 3 seconds to just breathe and be
Yes.
like, "Okay."
Crazy clients. You can't make this up. A divorced woman demands a refund from wedding photographer 4 years later. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. Quality people, this is the Quality Life. Make sure
Like for the algorithm.
because we don't want to be quality by ourselves. This is an article that we found that I ran into and I saw, and we're gonna go through it before we gotta get on out of here. But that's what the title says. Let's just get into it. It says divorced woman demands refund from wedding photographer 4 years later. What is your reaction to that?
No. How about no?
How about no? That's
What's that
hilarious.
have to, yeah. My initial thought is, what's that have to do with the photographer?
Right, yeah, because it's like 4 years later. So we want to ask you guys in the chat a question, because we know that y'all have probably faced some crazy clients or customers or what have you. So we have this question for you. That's not the question. Sorry, guys. This is the question. What is the craziest situation you have ever faced at work? That's a question for you guys in the chat. What about you? Do you have any crazy?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there are a lot, but I guess at the top of my head, there was there was this time where I was given a project that no one else knew how to do, that's been worked on for 2 years before I got there, and I was given the project to complete. And there was a point where I was getting rushed into completing it or getting to a certain point in it, and I had no direction. So that was pretty crazy.
Okay. Well, let's get into this. Divorced woman demands refund.
Are you going to share yours?
No, I'm not.
Oh, wow.
All right, so we are now divorced. I will need a refund of an amount we paid. And these are the text messages. We're now divorced. I will need a refund of an amount we paid you because we don't need them anymore. And the wedding photographer says, "Pardon me? This has to be a joke, right?" And so he said that 2 minutes later. So the article starts off, it says, a South African wedding photographer this week received what he calls the craziest request he has ever heard in his career. A woman whose wedding he shot 4 years ago in 2019 is demanding a full refund for the wedding photography because she got divorced and doesn't need them anymore.
This is a sickness.
That's crazy. And then it goes on to say that the wedding photographer says, "I was doing a photo shoot at her friend's birthday party," Romeo says. "Then the friend told me that she has a friend who's getting married and needs a photographer. Then I told her, you can give her my number. That same night when I got home, that lady contacted me and told me she needs a photographer. She told me the wedding was in Durban, her husband's hometown." And so Romeo says that he quoted her 15,000 South African Rand, which is about $850. The couple negotiated it down to 12,000 Rand, about $650. And then the agreement was basically reached. So now check this out, guys. After the wedding, I came back home and sent the pictures to them, and I moved on because, that's what happens in the regular world. Happy clients, they loved the pictures, and that was that. Or so I thought. Fast forward 4 years, and Romeo received an unexpected message on Monday from the woman on the instant messaging app, WhatsApp. So this wasn't even, this man hit her on WhatsApp. That's crazy. All right, so Romeo initially thought she would ask to hire him again for another photo shoot of some sort. But he was taken aback when the woman explained that she had since gotten divorced and was now requesting a refund since she no longer needed the photo. That's a L right there. So let's see. It says, "Hi, Romeo, how are you?" And then she forgot the question mark, so she got us in the question mark. It says, "I don't know if you still remember me. You did a photo shoot for me at my wedding in Durban in 2019. So she's actually kind of already acknowledging, like, hey, like you may not even remember me because it's been so long, and I know you've probably done countless other weddings, but hey, do you remember me? And he says, "Hi, I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, I remember you," basically. He says, "Well, I'm now divorced." This is just a plot twist of the century. "Well, I'm now divorced, and those pictures I and my ex-husband don't need them anymore. You did a wonderful job." What? Hold up. "You did a wonderful job on them, but they went to waste as we are now divorced." Is that his fault, though? Is that his fault?
No, it's not.
"I will need a refund of the amount we paid you because we don't need them anymore." So here's my question, though. Is she gonna split this with her ex-husband, or does she just want all the money?
She probably just wants the money.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, we don't need them anymore, but you need to refund me.
Because, like, even at the top, she said something like, "You took pictures of me." She didn't say us. She didn't say me and my ex-husband.
Right.
She said me.
It sounds like Shawty's down bad, and she needs that pay because it sounds like she left her husband, and maybe she's trying to scrap and get some money anyway. I don't know her exact situation. I'm kind of reading into it, but it just seems like why would you ask somebody who did a service for you 4 years later that you liked to give you a refund because of your failings, in a sense?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that's like going to like a restaurant, and 4 years later you're like, it didn't sit right with my stomach anymore because you happen to have a stomach ache.
Right. It was like,
Can I get a refund?
shrimp was kind of bad. I'm gonna need a refund. Here's the receipt. Like, it's crazy. And so that's when he says, "Pardon me, this has to be a joke, right?" And she says, "No, dear, I'm very serious." See, I would think that you were serious if you would have put a period there, but you didn't put the period, so
So she's not that serious.
she's not that serious. And then the photographer says, I'm very sorry to hear that you and your husband divorced, but as I'm sure you can figure out that that's not going to happen. He's just like, nah, like, yeah, you're not getting this refund. Photography is a non-refundable service. Once I've already delivered to you the service and the pictures, I can't refund you because I can't untake the pictures. Take care now. He's just like, deuces. Amen to that, man.
I like it.
All right, so now we're back into the article. Going to the, it says, well, or so it basically just says, kind of highlighting the text that we said, you did a wonderful job, but now they're wasted. Woe is me. Woe is me. And then it says, the woman then escalates the demand by threatening to get lawyers involved.
This is a sickness.
That's crazy. All right, so let's see what she says. She says, that is something you must have in your contract, that no refunds. But it's crazy. It's like 4 years later. Like, any reasonable person's going to think, hey, like, no, like,
Yeah.
the service is done.
Like even okay, usually refunds are like 30 days.
Right.
4 years? Come on.
It's crazy. Well, it also is like, and this is South Africa, so they might have slightly different rules as well. But so like if you go to a car wash, right, and you get your car cleaned or whatever, you don't sign like this physical contract that says, hey, if you don't like the way the car wash cleaned it, it's non-refundable. You don't have to. It's already implied.
Mhm.
And so you don't have to sign. She's saying like, hey, it wasn't in the contract, but it like doesn't have to be, because it's like a service. It's like once you agree upon the terms of the service and they're completed, then it's like, that's it. And I may have to ask my mom about that
Yeah,
further, but that's how I understand it, at least. All right. And so she says, I understand it's not your fault, but you are a business, and as such, you must be able to grant refunds.
Must.
Well, hold up. I can grant refunds, but I'm
Wait.
not granting you a refund for a product I did 4 years ago and you like, just because you and your husband got divorced. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And then he says, no, ma'am, you're not entitled to my refund. I would like to remain professional with you and just reassure you that you will not be getting a refund.
All caps.
It's bad enough you want a refund 4 years later. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunately embarrassing on your part. So Daryl, I've never seen that contraction before. So there'll be no refund. Okay, thanks. Take care now. he's just like deuces. And then she says, you will be hearing from my lawyer. I've forwarded him everything. Sharp. And he says, LOL. I'm sure I'm still being pranked. There's just no way. You can't make this up. Am I right? Look, I'm really sympathize with you on the divorce. I can imagine what you went through. But this... What?
I think it's supposed to be can't.
Yeah. But this is not the way to deal with it. Other than that, there's really nothing more I can do for you. I mean, and it's crazy that she's still like pressing the issue. So that's why I had the theory, like, man, maybe she's just down bad and she just really needs money. So she's just going down people trying to get refunds from anybody that she can. And then later it says, good morning, Romeo. It's fine. Then let our lawyers deal with it. At least refund 70% of the money, and I can move on and heal from everything. Oh my God, you need to heal. The
Heal.
refund's gonna heal you.
Right.
Man, I didn't know money was like medicine. I thought money just bought you medicine.
Yeah, he needs to put her on the block ministry.
Man, that's crazy. And then now look what she says. She says, where are you? I'm in Joburg. I think that's Johannesburg.
Mm-hmm.
Can we meet and discuss this issue way forward? Now you want to date me? Oh, no, you're not trapping me like you trapped your last husband.
Oh, I think
That's
a
not
bit
happening,
much.
man.
I think that's a bit much.
That was probably a stretch, but you know. Okay, so there goes that. And then we get down to here,
This guy.
and he's just like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Tell your lawyer to call me.
No, just no. Tell your lawyer to call me. Yeah, and then she's just like, okay. So I'm not sure if the lawyer called, but that's as far as we've gotten so far.
He did better than what I would have done. Like at the very first part when
Right.
he was like, "This is a joke, right?" And when she was like, "No," I would have just been like, "Block."
I think he's still trying to figure out at this point if he's getting pranked or not. Because it seems like he's getting punked. And so he's just he's kind of poking the bear, trying to say like, hey, is this
Until they're like, "You've been punked."
is this real? Like I'm waiting for the HD cameras and the crew to come out. Initially, I thought I was being pranked, Romeo says. I thought she was joking and that she would tell me why she was contacting me and she was trying to be funny. So I responded the way I responded, thinking there's no way she's this crazy and would tell me it's a joke. But I responded that way in case she's serious, and it turns out that she is serious. So that was kind of confusing. Basically saying like, hey, I was kind of playing around at first because I thought she wasn't serious and I thought she was going to say, hey, it's a joke. And then I realized that she wasn't. And then I was like, okay, I need to nip this in the bud to kind of protect myself. But then she just kept going. It's just, this is just a crazy situation. I've come across some crazy clients, but not like this. She takes the cake. She has threatened to sue me for defamation of character.
What?
She can't because she was never identified publicly. But maybe she thought I'd be intimidated. It's been hilarious. I don't want to lie. The lady still has not let on. She's adamant that she needs to get her money back. She's really serious. And she still wants me to meet up with her. I don't even know what to say anymore because this is the craziest thing I have experienced in
just
this
block
line
her.
of work. Well, he can't now because the lady's like suing her or suing him.
But he can still block her if it's just between the lawyers. He doesn't have to have
he
communication with her.
But I mean, he's still linked to her now. I wonder, like, if she's doing this to any other person,
Oh, I believe it.
like that has given her a service, and they just didn't go public with it like this photographer did. But this is just a wild story.
She probably has, because character, you know.
Right. But yeah, we want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think of that? Because I thought that was just one of the craziest things I have heard. Let's go to the comments, Kenya.
T-Mac says, no refund. 4 years later.
Yeah, I agree with that, T-Mac.
We got Miss Sonia in the house. She says, this is so ridiculous. By her logic, she should return every wedding gift from all of her wedding guests.
Ooh, that's bars. Yeah. I mean, that's the same logic.
Yeah.
Got to be consistent.
Yeah,
imagine if that was a thing, though. Like, if you got divorced, hey, I need that money back that we paid you for my wedding. She's like, well, did you go? Well, is she going to sue the venue?
Oh.
Or the venue or the wedding planner? Is she going to take her wedding dress back? Is she going to get her? I'm sure she's probably pressing it all. She's like,
probably
she's
is.
trying to grab any money that she can.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What else we got out there?
We got a judge would throw the case out and likely advise she seek counseling.
Oh, that's straight from a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, that's it, guys. Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun. Quality people, make sure that you share this with a quality friend. We're going to be back tomorrow, probably a little earlier, probably around 5. But until then, make sure you
Like for the algorithm.